Eagles fans, this is serious. A quiet move, orchestrated directly by Howie Roseman, could be the biggest surprise of this preseason. We're talking about a name no one expected, but behind the scenes there's already a proposal in the works. That's why you're always ahead of the curve here on the channel. Subscribe and turn on notifications because what we're about to tell you is simply historic. This isn't just some off-season rumor, it's thick smoke that suggests a fire is coming, and the one who could be in the middle of this explosion is none other than the Philadelphia Eagles. When it comes to out-of-control moves, General Manager Howie Roseman is like a shark in calm waters, quiet, calculating, and ready to strike. And now, with an elite name unexpectedly available on the market, he may be sharpening his teeth for another move that could shake up the NFL. Christian Wilkins. Wilkins' ouster in Las Vegas was as surprising as it was controversial. The defensive tackle was released by the Raiders on Thursday, just months after signing a 4-year, $110 million contract. The reason? A dispute over his recovery from a foot injury. An injury that took him out of action in Week 5 of last season. The team alleged breach of guarantees and voided $35 million of his contract, prompting Wilkins to file a lawsuit against Time. A behind-the-scenes scandal, but a golden opportunity for those who know how to find talent amid chaos. And in these times, the Philadelphia Eagles are emerging as a force, and not by chance. The name connecting the dots of this potential move is Vic Fangio, the Eagles' current defensive coordinator. It was under Fangio's direct command that Wilkins enjoyed his most dominant NFL season in 2023, wearing a Miami Dolphins jersey. In that campaign, Wilkins recorded 9 sacks, dominated the line's million, and was a terror for quarterbacks and running backs. It was this performance that caught the Raiders' attention, and now it could be resurrected in Philadelphia. With Fangio searching for pieces that fit perfectly into his aggressive and cerebral 3-4 scheme, Wilkins seems tailor-made. The coaching staff already has Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, 2 physical monsters who anchor the center of the defense. But adding Wilkins to the rotation would transform the Eagles' defensive front into something even more lethal, a veritable wall. It would be like adding a hungry lion to an already ferocious pack of predators. Of course, the scenario involves risks. Medical uncertainties still weigh heavily. The foot injury and the ongoing legal battle with the Raiders are blocking attention. But if there's one NFL manager known for extracting maximum value in volatile situations, it's Roseman. Just think of last season, when he didn't hesitate to bring in edge rusher Bryce Huff, even with reservations about his fit. An aggressive move that showed how he never backs down from a battle. Roseman's track record reveals a pattern. He attacks when most retreat, and when he sees talent being undervalued by the market, he turns it into a competitive advantage. Wilkins wouldn't just be another addition. He'd be a piece that could set the physical and psychological tone for the defense in 2025. What's more, with Wilkins alongside Carter, Davis, and names like Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick, the Eagles wouldn't just be deeper on defense, they'd be terrifying. Ideally, this line would be able to stifle the opposing run game and force quarterbacks to desperation on third downs. But for now, everything is speculative. All eyes are now on Roseman and the backstage area at the NovaCare complex. Will he wait for the waters to clear, or will he do what he always does? Attack first and ask questions later. While the defense could gain a significant reinforcement in the coming days, there's another battle brewing, but on the offensive side, away from the main spotlight. A silent war is underway at the Eagles training camp, involving 2 names fighting to prove they deserve to be part of the franchise's future. And, believe me, what's happening between these 2 QBs will heat up in the coming chapters. While Jalen Hurts remains the undisputed leader of the Eagles' offense, an unexpected battle has been heating up behind the scenes during training camp, and it could be a sure bet for the final roster composition. We're talking about the battle for the backup quarterback position between rookie Kyle McCord and young veteran Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR. And if you thought this spot was just a formality, you'd better pay attention to what's happening on the field. In the early days of training camp, the 2 quarterbacks shared reps with the backup quarterback, alternating between practices under the watchful eye of the coaching staff. But it was on the 3rd day of training camp that DTR took his first major step forward. According to NBC Sports reporter Dave Zangaro, Dorian had his best performance yet, executing precise passes and demonstrating pocket control, something we didn't see much of during his terrible tenure with the Browns. DTR arrives negative. After throwing just 1 touchdown and 10 interceptions in Cleveland, he knows he needs to convince the Eagles they deserve another chance, and his athleticism, similar to Hurts, could be an advantage. Both are mobile, have good reading of broken plays, and can improvise. Ohio State freshman Kyle McCord, on the other hand, is more conservative in his style but has been steadily improving. While he lacks DTR's flashes, McCord demonstrates good technique and calm under under pressure. This situation is even more important because Jalen Hurts will play some in the preseason, and Tanner McKee is expected to receive important snaps. This means McCord and DTR will have real opportunities to excel, not only in the fight for a roster spot, but perhaps even for future projection within the franchise. Regardless of who wins this battle, the outlook is promising. Having two players competing at a high level for a spot that often goes unnoticed demonstrates the depth and commitment of the Eagles roster. And if the time comes to count on one of them in the future, they'll know they're not unprepared. But it's not just the battle for salary cap space that's fierce. On the field, a new play is gaining momentum, literally, and promises to make an immediate impact in Philadelphia. When it comes to raw power, few NFL running backs are as important as A.J. Dillon. And now, in a new chapter of his career, he wants to show he still has the gas in the tank, or in his case, leg power, to become a key weapon in the Eagles' running attack. After years of sharing the backfield in Green Bay and facing fitness issues in the final stretch of 2023, Dillon arrives in Philadelphia with a clear goal: to prove he can be much more than a rotational option. At 27 years old and with a body built for contact, nearly 250 pounds in borrowed calves, Dillon is competing with Will Shipley for Saquon Barkley's immediate backup spot. Kenny Gainwell's departure in free agency left that spot open. And although Shipley started training camp as the favorite, Dillon has been impressing with his explosiveness in practice. According to offensive coordinator Kevin Patolo, Dillon has also been surprising when receiving passes in the backfield, showing that he can be used beyond his strength between the tackles. But the player himself has warned, real football only starts when you put on the protection. And it's at that moment, when practices become truly physical, that Dillon hopes to show his full potential. The chemistry with Barkley and the atmosphere within the running backs group has been another positive. Dillon highlighted the camaraderie and mutual support with his teammates, including Shipley, which strengthens the internal environment. But make no mistake, Dillon wants the job. And with his experience, dominant physical training, and improvement, he could end up becoming one of the positive surprises of the season. And with an offensive line like Jeff Stoutland's, it's no exaggeration to say that Dillon isn't the best possible place to relaunch his career. The Eagles' blocking scheme is considered one of the most effective in the league, and if Dillon can capitalize on the holes created, Philadelphia fans can expect some good runs, and perhaps a few run-ins along the way. With Wilkins potentially strengthening the defense, McCord and DTR locked in an intense battle on the sidelines, and A.J. Dillon ready to destroy the run game. Could we be ready to see the most complete and dangerous Eagles squad in years? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. But I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.